Ghost attorney tonight is Ken Riley, so good to see you, Ken.
It's good to see you again, Tiffany.
He is with the law firm of Ferris, Riley & Pitt, and of course he's on every other week, so glad to have you back in the seat.
I'm glad to be here. You know, tonight we're talking about asbestos exposure, and we've had Greg Cade on before, who practices with the environmental group here in Birmingham. And one of the questions that we had for Greg was, well, is it just lung cancers? Is it just mesothelioma? And in talking with Greg, I learned that it's not just limited to that. Greg, I want you to talk to our viewers tonight about why asbestos exposure is not limited the way that most people think that it is.
Well, simply because it's a substance that you inhale and it ends up in your body, your gastrointestinal section. It could cause cancer of the lung, of the colon, small intestines, kidney, whatever. It's a dangerous substance, so, you know, just varies.
Because the reason we hear about mesothelioma so much is because it's so widespread and that's such a common occurrence once you've been exposed to asbestos.
Well, mesothelioma is the only known cancer that's caused by asbestos.
Okay.
That's why you hear about it all the time.
Right.
You know, lung cancer, which is another cancer that's caused by asbestos, is one of those that can be caused by several things. But, you know, the science is pretty solid on mesothelioma and asbestos only.
Okay. We've got some callers that want to talk to you. They're interested in hearing from you. So we've got Greg in Hansville. Hello, Greg.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Go ahead.
How are you tonight? I've done flooring for 20 years, and I know that, you know, in the past I've been in contact with asbestos-related products, and I was going to ask if, is there any way that you can, you know, maybe prove, you know, say 15, 17 years ago that I'm, you know, it may have had an effect on me, you know, up to now?
Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question, because if you think of asbestosis or any of the diseases that are caused by asbestos, they're all progressive diseases. So you go back 17 years and a person's getting exposed to asbestos, say doing floor tiles, he wouldn't see a problem until probably about now. That particular condition, or let me go to the material itself, the flooring industry was real bad with respect to the use of asbestos in the material, the flooring tile itself, the glues, and just a host of things. And the modern day, you don't typically see that in flooring today, but when a flooring guy would go in and remove flooring and things like that to put down new flooring, that's when he'll get exposed today. But back in the old days, that was pretty common.
Talk to our viewers and people like Greg about the statute of limitations as it would apply to an asbestos case, because we're talking about exposure that occurred many times, many years ago. Help our viewers understand that.
Well, statute of limitation is that prescribed period when you can bring a lawsuit. With respect to a person being exposed to asbestos, or one would like to bring a claim in Alabama, you got to overcome what's called the post-79 rule. So once you show that a person was exposed past 1979 to an asbestos product, then you can bring a lawsuit. But for the most part, most of these cases are filed in many other states where that particular unique rule is only, well, just say that the rule is actually unique to Alabama.
Okay. All right. Kenneth is on the line. He's calling from West End tonight. Good to hear from you, Kenneth.
Good evening.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hi. My question was similar to Greg's just a minute ago. My father worked in the steel industry, and we did home construction after he got off from work, and I worked very closely with him, and now I suffer with COPD. And I mean, I have asthma real bad, and we're talking in the 70s.
Is COPD the same as, could that be asbestos related?
Normally, it's something that's seen beside an asbestosis type condition versus being actually caused by asbestos. It really requires a person like this to go see what's called a B reader. B reader is a licensed person or medical doctor who knows specifically how to detect asbestos in a person's lungs once they see an X-ray.
Do you have access to those people who can screen for asbestos, the B readers?
Absolutely, absolutely. These people are they're quite unique in our area of law. They're, you know, my particular firm, we rely on several B readers to give us conclusions as to whether or not a person has been exposed to asbestos.
Are those people local? Are those are they physicians?
Yes, they're pulmonologists mostly. I'm sorry about that. They're
right.
pulmonologists, and they just get this certification through NIOSH, where it gives them this opportunity to draw a conclusion on a pneumoconiosis, which is a lung type disorder.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Denise is calling tonight. Hello, Denise.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hi.
Hey, you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering, my father worked on the railroad back in the 50s, and he passed away from black lung. And I was wondering, was he exposed to asbestos some kind of way on the railroad? Do you think?
That's a very good question. Yes, asbestos was a very, very common use, especially when you go back to the 1950s when they had steam engines, okay? Asbestos was used to insulate the steam engine itself. But, you know, you mentioned that he died from black lung. That's a disease that's caused by dust that comes from a coal mine. So there's a distinction between those two. But he could have been exposed to asbestos by working on the railroad, whatever job that would have put him around that engine.
Okay. Stormy's on the line from Bessemer tonight. Hello, Stormy.
Hello.
Hey there. Thanks for calling.
Hi.
Hey there.
Okay, my question is, I was married to my ex-husband for 11 years, and he got his settlement for asbestos, and I never did receive my settlement. And the number that I got for the lawyer, I tried to call, and they won't answer the phone. So I was trying to see what number could I get, because both of my children were born premature, and I have a lung disease now. So I was trying to see what number can I get to get a lawyer.
Okay. How would she go about getting some help?
She can contact our firm or Ken's firm, 328-9200. With respect to, I'm assuming she's referring to what's called a second disease from a husband or a brother or someone who worked around asbestos and brought it home to her. That's a very common occurrence as well. Science is pretty solid for wives and siblings to be exposed to asbestos from the parents